Hey everybody, Doug here. Welcome back to yet another board game channel and yet another round of Mansions of Madness 2nd edition, the Gangs of Arkham scenario. Things went poorly again last turn. Min is now in charge of fighting because Finn and Harvey are just terrible at it. And Min has, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 clues, so she can do a whole lot of re-rolling when fighting this thing. And we are going to send Finn around to do more investigating in the apartment because he's got that thing that lets him move a space for free either before or after doing a search action, and there's a lot of searching to be done. So other problems. Yes, Min is currently claustrophobic, so she can't end her turns someplace that has 2 or fewer spaces within range, or she'll take a face-down horror. Alright, Finn is still insane, but we've kind of dealt with his condition. He needs to have a spell on him for us to properly win the game, and Harvey is wounded. He can't move more than once per turn. So that means if either Harvey loses all his health or Finn loses all his sanity, we will lose. Speaking of Finn's sanity, small mistake last turn, which I made a note of in the video on screen. I miscounted how many horror Finn should or should not have gotten. I somehow forgot that I had... Yeah, he got a success which blocked 1 horror, which I did apply. I only gave him 1 horror. But for some reason, moments later, I thought I had given him the full 2. So when I re-rolled, thanks to Min's ability, it meant he could block 1 more, so I took away 1 more than I should have. So he's at 2, well, 4 sanity, 2 horror. Alright, let's get into this. What the heck, we are going to start with Min and see if she can deal with this thug. Okay, for her first action, from where she is, Min is going to attack that goon with her .18 Derringer. So we're going to choose the hired gun and attack using a firearm. Okay, this is better. It is so much easier to shoot the enemy from a comfortable distance than to engage in unseemly fisticuffs. We're going to test her agility, which is actually 4. It's the best agility of anybody. Okay, yes, the dice tower is visible. And we need 2 successes. Okay, she only got 1 success, but she also got a clue, so she's going to spend 1 of her massive amount of clues and change that into a success, giving us a pass. If you pass, you brought a gun to a knife fight. Go in. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage, which is only 2, which is not quite an... Oh wait, no it is. He's at 3, so that is enough to take it down. Yeah, that's it. Min is going to do all the fighting from now on. Alright, for her second action, well, we're going to have her tag along. Let's get this guy off our table. It's going to tag along with Harvey. We'll have to see how claustrophobic the speakeasy or whatever it is. She may just wait outside and maybe hop in and if there's fighting to be done, she can hop in, shoot, and come back out. So for her second action, she's going to move 2. Next, well, let's explore that with Harvey. Alright, Harvey's first action is going to be a move, so he gets to move 2 spaces. Second action is exploring this. A nondescript door leads into one of the buildings abutting the alley. You will have to pick the lock to get inside, and it looks like a tough one. I'm going to explore. Yes, we're going to use his observation, which, thanks to him getting it boosted quite near the early of the game, is actually 5. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, this is going to take some thinking. I'll be back in a moment. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't quite do it in one turn because it's going to take 6 or maybe 7 moves to do it. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's going to take 7 moves. He's got to do 2 more to get that to happen. So that, unfortunately, is the end of his turn. So he's not going to... We're not quite going to get in there this turn. But we definitely have it next turn. Alright. Now, well, Finn is going to be pretty straightforward. We're just going to move him over here to do a little investigating. 1, 2, and his second action will be moving 1, 2. Again. So we won't get a chance to look at anything. But we're all set up to do what we need to do next turn. But before that, the dreaded Mythos phase. Okay, let's see what terrible thing they foist upon us. Two men in shirt sleeves approach the newsie. Oh, who greets them cordially. Can I interest you gents in a paper? The boy asks. Without a word, the men each grab one of the boy's arms. Uh-oh. Hey, what's the big idea? The newsie says as he struggles to get free. Let me go! Okay, this will not stand. Oh no. The 2 men holding the boy begin to drag him in the direction of a dozen men who have rounded the street corner near the bookshop. At the head of the pack is a familiar figure. Place old Sadie Sheldon as indicated. Uh-oh. Yeah, still have him nearby. So he goes there. Suddenly realizing what is happening, the boy cries out, Miss O'Banion, the Sheldons are coming. The Sheldons are coming. The Sheldons are coming. The Sheldons are coming. Struggling against his captors, the newsies reach... Okay, I was wrong. I actually thought old Sadie was... kind of looks like a man on there, but it turns out it's actually a female. The picture needs to be a little more definitive. Struggling against his captors, the newsie reaches into his pocket, pulls out a switchblade. Uh-oh. Oh no, he's calling for Miss O'Banion. These are the... I'm getting the gangs mixed up. They're all thugs. But one of the men holding his arms rips it away from him and tosses it aside. Move the newsie as indicated. All right, we're going to have to move down on the map a bit. All right. Poor newsie goes down there. What else happens? Just as the people in the park watching all of this with confusion begin to realize the danger they are in, one of Sheldon's men pulls out a shotgun and fires a blast into the sky. Oh, this is not good. Nobody move, the man with the shotgun shouts. Stay where you are and no one gets hurt. The situation is threatening to turn into an all-out gang war. You must convince old Sadie Sheldon that you know who killed his people before it is too late. Okay. Well, our hand has been forced. I think we're going to have to run down here. And hopefully I'm right, and I know who the killer is. Alright, before we have everybody dash off down there. We're going to give Finn a chance to look at maybe one more bit of evidence. So, first action, he's going to move. For his second action, well, let's check descriptions for the two tiles. Right, that we can look under the bed. No search of the apartment would be complete without look under the bed. The interact token. Oop, can't see. Glass containers of various sizes and shapes fill a small table near the foot of the bed. Some of the containers are empty except for small amounts of residue at the bottom, while others have various measures of unnaturally colored liquids. Several of the smaller bottles bear the logo you recognize from the front of the curio shop. Some of these bottles appear to be unopened. It's an action you can take an elixir. Well, that's not necessarily evidence for our case. So we're going to search under the bed first. You flip up the bed sheet out of the way and take a peek under the bed. There you find a pair of women's heeled boots covered in blood. Gain the incriminating evidence unique item. So yes, more evidence. Can only be good. So, there we go. I wonder if I don't know if I want to bother taking an elixir. It might be, I assume we're just going to grab one of these. It's not necessarily going to help us solve the mystery, though. So I think, we get rid of that. Things are really coming to a head, so I think we are just going to use Finn's special ability that lets him move a space before or after performing a search action. So he's going to move one, and he's going to try to head south to where all the activity is happening, and we're going to try to solve this. All right. Now, Min and Harvey. Now, Harvey, unfortunately, can only move once per round, per turn. So, first action, he's actually going to trade and hand these two bits of evidence to Min in case we need to have the evidence on us when we go confront old Sadie. So Min is now holding 4 bits of evidence. His second action, we're gonna have him start to move down there, which means that leaves us with Min, who is going to make a bit of a dash. Yes, Min is going to do two move actions. I'm going to go 1, 2, and then a second time 1, 2. We don't quite get down to where we need to. Before the Mythos phase, hopefully nothing too terrible happens before we can get down there. Alright, we have to do a Mythos phase. What happens? The dozen or so men accompanying Sadie Sheldon pull shotguns and machine guns from their hiding places beneath their coats. Uh-oh, they're gearing up. And a luxurious but dangerous-looking woman is accompanied by a dozen armed men as she comes rounding the corner. She wears a black headband with a red rose tucked into her long, dark brown hair. This is Naomi O'Banion, a lieutenant of the O'Banion gang. Alright, let's find that token. Alright, there she is. And she has popped up way up there, so I assume we've got until the O'Banions reach the Sheldons down here to prevent bad things from happening. You have a feeling things are going to get very ugly unless you can convince old Sadie to release the boy. Okay, that's it for the mythos. On to investigator, and we're going to see what Min can do. All right, Min's first action. She's going to move 2 for her second action. She's going to interact with, well, first of all, let's have a look at the boy, see if anything happens there. The newsie struggles against the 2 men holding his arms, but he is hopelessly outmatched. So, I'm going to talk to old Sadie. Make it quick. I have a score to settle. I know who killed your people. We're going to go with that. And who would that be? We're going to say Alice Luxley. We found the stuff in her. Are you sure you want to accuse? Well, yeah. God, I hope I'm right. You present all the evidence you have collected in your investigation in order to convince old Sadie that he is being manipulated into going to war with the O'Banions. We're going to test her influence, which is 4. Add 1 success for each evidence in the investigator's possession. Oh, it's investigators plural, so it's all the evidence we have total. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 bits of evidence. So I'm feeling pretty good about this roll. Because we're going to get 6 plus whatever she rolls for her influence. Let's move that over a little bit more. Okay. She rolled 1 and a couple. Oh, you know what? Let's just nail this. Let's go ahead and spend a couple of clues to make those successes. So that's going to give us a total of 9. So there, game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Confirm. Old Sadie listens to what you have to say and considers your evidence. You watch as he struggles to overcome his suspicions of the O'Banion gang. Very well, he says at last, then turns to his men who are holding the boy. Release him. The 2 Sheldon men holding the newsie's arms release him, and he pulls away from them with a jerk, then walks calmly away from the Sheldon gang. Discard the newsie. Yeah, I expect he's getting the heck out of Dodge. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a familiar figure approaching through the park. Okay, we're going to put Alice back into play. Alright, there she is. Boy, I hope we're right. So otherwise things are going to get terrible here. I wish you had not interfered, the detective says. These gangs have been a cancer on this town for too long. They must be excised. It is then that you notice the large glass flask filled with an unnaturally colored liquid she holds in her hand. She quickly drinks down the liquid and tosses the container aside. The flask shatters into pieces on the rocks on the bank of the pond. Oh, she's going to change into something terrible. Yep. Before everyone's eyes, Luxley begins to transform, her body growing and twisting into a monstrous form. Discard. Luxley, spawn a Loigor, as indicated. I'll be back after I fish that out. Alright, well, here's the token, first of all, the Loigor. You can see all its horror and evade values. The Loigor's reptilian form is a psychic illusion brought on by its slow feeding on human minds, but when its claws tear into flesh, the illusion feels all too real. So that slips into this sucker. That's, well, kind of a good news, bad news. Good news, we were right. We solved the murder. Bad news, that. Oh, all right. Holy hell, old Sadie exclaims. Let's get out of here. Oh, come on. Sadie and his gang quickly flee the scene. Discard old Sadie Sheldon. We have her outnumbered. For once, I agree with Sheldon, Naomi O'Banion yells to her people, who retreat through the alley. Discard Naomi. So she's up there, but we are going to just remove her token, because she's scarpered. With the gangsters gone and a giant monster looming, the bystanders run screaming away from the park. No kidding. Discard all person tokens for the bandstand and the pond. Yeah, those are all going away. Oh boy. As the monster continues to grow larger and more horrifying, it seems less and less likely you will be able to kill it through brute force alone. There must be an antidote, to the elixir that created it. Okay, that is that. That was actually just Min's action. Okay, Min went first, so that means the guys will be able to maybe start doing stuff with the elixirs. But yeah, we have to figure out an antidote. Over to Finn and Harvey. Okay, well, Harvey can't get up to much, unfortunately, because he can only move the once, 1, 2, and from there he can't do anything. Finn's not technically in range because he's in another room, so we can't give him a clue. So yeah, that's going to be it for Harvey. It's really too bad about that wounded. But we'll go to Finn. Just going to move one. And is going to investigate this. We're going to, okay. Glass containers of various sizes and shapes, right? We read all that. An investigator with the conclusive evidence unique item may interact with this token. Oh, shoot. Who has that? It's Min, who's furthest away. Shoot. Okay. So let's... Alright, let's back up. Finn will not move there. What he's going to have to do is trade off... Okay. They're going to have to get the conclusive evidence away from Min and to one of the guys, probably Harvey, actually. He'll probably be best at trying to do it. Yeah, I should have tapped on that first to see what was going on. So, for his actions, Finn is going to move twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we may have to play, you can't see where he went. There we are. We may have to play tag here and trade the conclusive evidence off to get it to Harvey. That means, yeah, we're going to have to wrap up the investigation phase and get ourselves another Mythos phase happening. Alright, Mythos phase, which we know is going to be extremely bad because this thing is going to move. Yeah, it's got 30 HP. We are not brute forcing this thing. Alice Luxley attacks the investigator within range, who has suffered the least damage. Well, 1, 2... Min is the only one in range. Fortunately, she's only taken a single damage this whole time. Yeah, Alice doesn't have to move to get there. Just going to be monster attacks. The beast turns its many twinned eyes toward you, and you feel its cruel consciousness rasp against your skin like sandpaper. I'm going to test her lore. We need 3 successes. Her lore is just 3. Ugh. All right. Yeah, lore not. Yeah, she's got something that helps her observation, but not her lore. Nope, that is a fail. Can't even use clues to salvage that. If you fail, the creature guides your hands to perform unspeakable acts upon your own flesh. Suffer 2 damage and flip 2 horror face up. Okay, this is going to be some face up damage. First thing, minor injury. Yes, flip that back over. Second one, broken leg. You hear your bones break with a sickening crunch. Harvey got this earlier. Your leg will not bear even the smallest weight. If you move more than a single space as part of a move action, flip 1 damage face up. Well, it's terrible. And then she has 3 face down horror. We're going to flip 2 of them face up. First of all, minor shock. Good. That goes back. And we'll put that one back. And we'll flip this one. Minor shock. Okay, that could have been worse. We will continue. Now we have to do, horror checks for everybody in range of a monster, which is 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, Finn's not quite in range. He won't have to do the horror check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. All right. However, Min is going to have to suffer this. Your mind naturally rebels against the creature's psychic control. Going to test her will, and we need 2 success. Her will's only 3. I need 2. Okay, she's still got 5 clues. She is going to spend 1 to make this a success and pass the test. If you pass, you force the beast out of your consciousness and it howls in fury. If you fail, oh yeah, that would have been very, very bad. And we are going to end that. You know what? I think I'm going to leave it at there for this episode, and we'll save the rest for a grand finale. Yeah, we'll just deal with this thing in one big action. It didn't move. That's interesting. This didn't move. But maybe as we get away from it, it will, it'll probably chase after us once we start getting out of range. So yeah, we'll finish this off next time. We'll get this evidence, pass it off for Min, somehow get it up to where the alchemy lab is. Maybe, probably Harvey, because he's just got the best lore and the best observation, so he's most likely going to do that. We will see if we can do that in the next episode. Thanks very much, everybody, for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel and liking the videos, both on YouTube and Board Game Geek. And I will see you next time for yet another round of Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition. So long.